I would like to talk about passive language use, or what some also call passive language skills. Many people consider listening and reading as passive skills, as opposed to speaking and writing as active language skills. Now, this totally makes sense when we focus on what we can see on the outside. Considering the production of words or signs or gestures, I can understand that when there is nothing that we can actually observe because the person is reading and listening, so quite quiet, it seems passive. Whereas when one speaks or writes, we have the proof that something is going on, right? So it makes sense to call this then as an active language skill or active language use. But if we consider the brain activity or the amount of energy that we put into actually listening and reading, we can't really say that there is such thing as a passive language skill or use. No matter how much we understand about a language, our brain is always active. Not speaking a language yet, not uttering sounds that are understandable yet, doesn't mean that the child, the young adolescent, or the adult for that matter, is not processing the language input. Everyone who listens, observes, or understands to a certain extent is a receiver of that message or that code. It doesn't matter if this is a spoken language or a sign language. When we acquire or learn a language, we process the input, we assess what we can make sense of, we put it in relation, we make a connection with what we already know. So we are a receiver of a message, and as such, we are in a receptive mode, which is necessary for us to learn. So being receptive implies that we are actively involved. When we listen to audiobooks, music, to what others say, we are listening. It's a verb that is expressing action. And our brain certainly is active. Receptive language skills, or the use of language in a receptive way, means the ability to understand, to comprehend language that is spoken, that we hear, or that we see. Examples for receptive language can be the child's ability to listen and follow directions, our ability to understand people speaking a language even if we don't speak it yet, and our ability to read in a language we cannot speak yet. So I'd say there is no passive language use. The term use also already makes it clear that action is required or happening when we do. So we are actively involved in understanding the language. When we share the language, either through speech, through gestures, or writing, we use our expressive language skills. So I suggest the use of receptive language versus expressive language, where expressive language is the output, the ability to express wants and needs through verbal and non-verbal communication, signs and gestures. So it is the ability to put thoughts into words and sentences in a way that makes sense to us and to those around us. This is my very personal take on this matter, and I would like to know what you think about this. Please let me know in the comments here below. And if you like this video, please click subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I publish a new video.